Hey guys, what's up? It's right here. Today I have a Destiny video for you. I'm going to be talking, kind of picking up on what I talked about last video where I mentioned that the game is becoming monotonous to me, and today I'm going to talk about can the Destiny Crucible multiplayer mode actually be a cure for that monotony. Now, just to go over what I mentioned in the last video, I talked about how the game is kind of becoming real repetitive for me. I'm doing the same things kind of over and over again every week. You go and you do your nightfall, you do your heroics, you do your daily missions and your weekly missions, and you kind of do the same thing over and over again, kind of every week, and that it was just getting real monotonous. So I mentioned I'm going to start trying to play maybe some more multiplayer, some more Crucible, now that I've had a lot of friends migrate away from this game and go over to, games like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed and some of those games. I thought maybe now is a good time to try playing some more Crucible, get into the multiplayer more, and really get into that. So that's what I did. Now, just to give you kind of some ideas on what I'm doing here, I kind of got back into the multiplayer because I was going to do Toland's Legacy, which, as many of you know, is the bounty for the bad juju. And the last stage of that bounty is you got to get 10,000 points in the Crucible. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm working through that bounty, playing in Control, which is my favorite map, or my favorite game type right now. I like the Team Deathmatch game types. Rumble's okay. I'm much more of a fan of Control and the objective-based game types and controlling points. I just kind of like that rather than just guys, camping and sniping like you'll get to do in Team Deathmatch, where guys, just sit and camp in one area. You don't get much variety to the gameplay. This, at least, Control, I always like these types of games. Maybe it's the Battlefield Conquest mode that I love so much, of where it creates central points where there's gonna be action, and I kind of like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm running as my Voidwalker, which is my highest level character, my Voidwalker Warlock. I'm spec'd mostly for recovery and agility. I'm using a Suros Regime pretty much as my main weapon, a Light Beware Fusion Rifle, and an Admonisher 3 rocket launcher. Really, though, the Suros Regime is the champ here that I'm using to get these points. Now, just as a disclaimer, you're going to see in this video, I talk about this video being Break the Monotony. Can the Crucible do that? And yet, as I got into it, I really just realized that I'm just doing nothing but playing the same map. I must have gotten the Blind Watch map 5-6 games in a row when I was recording this video here a couple days ago. So it was getting real frustrating. I'm like, well, give me another map. And it's not like I was leaving and going to a different matchmaking game. I'm in the same matchmaking playlist. It just keeps going back to that same map. And I must have got it 5-6 times in a row and had an issue with it. So it was just really kind of odd that I'm making a video about how the multiplayer, the Crucible, can really keep this game fresh and new and different by changing up the gameplay, yet I'm getting the same map over and over again as I was doing the recording for this video. So just kind of funny how it worked out that way. Hopefully that's something that, if it is an issue or a huge problem in this game, that of course Bungie is addressing. Another thing is, I know recently, as of today, update 1.0.3 came out, a big update that Destiny or that Bungie had put out with a bunch of new fixes like voice chat options in matchmaking games and multiplayer games, increased bounty slots, all sorts of map and fixes like that, HUD fixes, all kinds of cool things. I just feel like, though, they missed out on a couple things that they promised way back when that we still haven't seen. Where are the weapon buffs for the Thorn and Bad Juju? What about these Crucible netcode fixes? The Crucible's fun to play, but there are netcode issues. You will still get, and I was getting it through some of these rounds, where I melee a guy. I know I got the melee off before the enemy. He should be dead, I should be alive, yet we both end up dying. We get a kill trade, and I see it shows that he meleeed me after I already had meleeed him, which should have technically killed him because that was the last hit I got on him. So just kind of some things like that just really kind of potentially, I don't think, could become game breaking because the game is still fun, but really can create a frustrating experience, especially if you get in one of those games where it's just obvious the netcode is not working well. It's basically like working against you. It can really be frustrating playing a game like that. So that's things I was hoping that I would see in this next update that Bungie would really focus on, is more of those things that we've heard them talking about now for a couple months now, or for several weeks, about the weapon buffs, that a lot of people like these exotic weapons. The Bad Juju looks cool. The Thorn is a cool looking weapon. It's got a unique, distinct sound. It'd be fun to see it working better and more usable. But right now, I'd rather use the Devil as a viable option for a hand cannon than the Thorn any day of the week. So, and for all situations. So until they really kind of fix those, it's kind of like, well, you guys, yeah, you can announce Bungie have this great patch coming out, but how about giving us the stuff that you promised ahead of time? Now, that being said, let me get into the gameplay here. I was having fun playing this game. It kind of really revitalized me and refreshed my thoughts on Destiny. I still like to go in and play the single player stuff. I still have a couple friends that we're still playing this game. And we're excited to play it. We're having a fun time playing it. They've actually come in and played some matchmaking games with me here, and we've had a great time and a blast doing it. And it's just revitalized it for me, and that's my thing. I'm much more of a multiplayer gamer. I will play single player games, open world games. I like playing through those, but I'd much rather do it in co-op with friends, or even have a multiplayer experience. A multiplayer experience to me just gives you that longevity of a game. It will take even the longest single player game, which could 40 hours, let's say, like a Skyrim or a long big RPG style game, and we'll take that and just increase it exponentially when you have a fun competitive multiplayer game on top of it. And that's how I feel Destiny kind of has, that maybe a lot of other MMOs don't, is that you get the feeling that you have something like this. And I'm really excited to see what they do with the Iron Banner here. I plan on playing that this week, and just kind of seeing how the game changes with the new updates and everything like that. It seems like it could be a lot of fun. A lot of potential there for some great stuff. I just wish I'd see Bungie kind of getting on these fixes a little bit quicker, getting them out a little faster. I don't, I tend to not want to say that too haphazardly in thinking that, well, if you rush it out and then it just breaks something else, or it's not ready, or it breaks consoles, or there could be a lot of potential for danger there in getting things out quicker, faster, and we want it now. But the fact that here it is, we're going on the third month now, fourth month, or third month, something like that, this game's going to be out, that we still don't have fixes for a lot of these issues that have been plaguing the game since day one, it kind of can be frustrating. So I'd really like to see Bungie get on that. Other than that, I think the multiplayer really gets a bad rap. I know a lot of my friends, at least in my circles, didn't like it, played a little bit, and then have never really touched it again. Maybe that's because they were, COD players, or they just really don't like this style of game, or that it was a bit different, or maybe the netcode was too much for them. I don't know what it was. I've had fun with this multiplayer. I've had fun with this game, and that's playing with friends or playing solo. Either way, I've had a good time playing it. I'm having a lot of fun, and like I said, it's revitalized the game for me. And I look forward now to not just going in there and doing the daily mission and doing some of the bounties and doing the daily stuff, but really going in and playing some of the Crucible and playing some of the multiplayer stuff, just because it's something kind of new that I haven't really touched on in this game, and I'm enjoying it. Well, that's all for this video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it and you liked it. Again, thank you for sticking around. I love getting the good feedback, and I love hearing. If you have any comments about anything I said, whether you agree or disagree, please feel free to share them with me. And until next time, this is Rai. Take care.